Hello, my lovelies, and welcome back. Yeah, I mean, I said it wasn't going to be a full Let's Play. Is it? I don't know. Probably. At this point, I can't resist. I actually can't leave it alone. Bloodborne is like that scab that you just won't heal because you can't stop picking at it. That is Bloodborne, you know? I can't. Whenever I start playing it, I just it's a pain in the arse. It's a total and utter pain in the posterior is this game because it's brilliant. It's because it's absolutely stunning. I don't think there is anything in all of gaming that scratches quite the same itch as Bloodborne. So here we are once again in the Ailing Loran Chalice dungeon, one of the deeper Chalice dungeons in fact, having just defeated the beast-possessed soul, I think. I think that was the last thing. Oh look, my skirts are going up, Marilyn Monroe style. I don't think the hunter would appreciate that somehow. Yeah. I love the fact that they've introduced, like, they've woven these random dungeons into the mythology. So, the dungeons underneath Yharnam, they are essentially where the blood was found, and you find some of the most mutated, horrific entities down here. Like these things, for example, the bloody rats. The rats are different down here than they are in the main game. They're a lot more diseased. There are, like, subspecies of them. Some of them have got, like, pustules that pulsate on their backs. Some of them have got, like, cancerous growths, and it's like... Yeah, I mean, this is all that remains of the Thumerian society, or culture, a sort of race of abhuman creatures that existed here before Yharnam and before humanity. They're these things. These things are Thumerians, these creatures on the floor, these sort of tall humanoids that are slightly alien-looking and have elongated skulls and like stretched limbs and whatnot. They were the founders of Yharnam. In fact, Yharnam, the city, is actually named after their queen. The Queen Yharnam is a key character in Bloodborne. We're actually going to meet her later. You can meet her a little earlier if you do all of the Chalice dungeons, because she is part of the Chalice dungeons. It's kind of interesting. Queen Yharnam is one of the characters who became a surrogate for the child of a Great One, and thereby became the mother of Murgo, the key infant Great One, whose wails and cries we hear throughout the game, and who is sort of the key of our particular metaphysical quest, or pilgrimage, if you like. I mean, everything we do, every path we take leads us inextricably to Murgo. It's as though our purpose is to free Murgo from his imprisonment in the Nightmare of Mensis at the end of the game. And that's exactly what we do, you know, assuming we survive that long, and assuming we can make our way through the various horrors of this game. That's exactly what we do. It's a fascinating little mythology. I mean, it's very Lovecraftian, and very consciously so as well. I mean, if you look at some of the symbolism in the game, if you look at the symbols on some of the runes that you can equip the hunter with, they are directly drawn from Lovecraft's mythology. The Eye rune, which is the symbol of a lot of the cults in Lovecraft's mythology, is one of the key symbols in this game. But yeah, this is all that's left of Thumerian society now. They've all been driven mad. The ones that are left here, that is, they've all been driven mad. They're all twisted, gangrel creatures. There's one of them up there. They've been mutated and altered and transformed by their imbibing of the old blood, I imagine, and by their communion with the Great Ones. They have a much closer connection with the Great Ones than any human being does or can. Here's some of the more mutated rats. Blah, not nice. You see their backs pulsating? It's gross. Oh, look. Oh, it's so horrible. Blah. Vomitous. Oh, there's a Thumerian. This is going to be tough. This is going to be tough. We're going to have to be very careful here. And that's not just aesthetic either. The ones that are diseased will transmit disease to you. Either after they die, they explode and emit like a poison toxic gas, or when they bite you. So you need to be really careful with them. God, there's so many of them. I mean, when you do one of these higher or lower chalice dungeons, you really see the depths of difficulty the game goes to. There's a couple of Thumerian bosses as well that we will fight that are in the chalice dungeons. There's like a Thumerian sage, there's a Thumerian warrior, and there's ultimately Lady Yharnam herself. She is, if you do all of the chalice dungeons, and if you get down deep into the very... Oh, hello. Oh my god, it's a hunter! There's a hunter down here, and he has the beast claw. That means he's going to have a different set of movements to most hunters. He's going to move more like a beast. That's a really cool weapon. We haven't got that yet, I don't think, the beast claw. We haven't got to the point in the game where we can get that, so this is going to be interesting. He's not that tough, actually. He hasn't got much health, so he's just very aggressive, so it's just surviving and whittling him down. There we go. Excellent, that's him done. God, it's unusual to face encounters like that in the chalice dungeons. That was cool, that was fun. But what was he protecting? One of the hunters that maybe got lost down here during the original excursions into the chalice dungeons. Or maybe one who was on his own pilgrimage like we are and got lost. Who knows? Who knows? Again, implied mythology. It's what it's all about, my loves. I mean, there have been many excursions into the chalice dungeons since, by Bergenworth, the college, probably the Scholars of Mensis as well, and also almost every hunter is expected to come down here to sort of test their mettle. It's like a holy pilgrimage and a rite of testing for hunters, so, you know. Whoa! It's such a good mythology. I mean... There are comics out there of Bloodborne. I haven't read any of them yet. I don't know if they're any good, to be honest, but there is a lot of scope for storytelling here. But for my money, I wouldn't want it extrapolated too far. I definitely wouldn't want to see anything that explains too much in too much detail about what's going on here. Part of the charm is the fact that every player of this game has slightly different ideas of what is actually happening and how the mythology manifests, because it's all so symbolic, you know? It's a beautiful form of storytelling, I've got to say, and I'm in awe of it. I am absolutely in awe of it. There are two video games recently that I've really... for me, they're top three. They are the top three video games of all time in terms of the way they exercise a narrative, and that is Pathologic 2 and this, Bloodborne. I think they are some of the most beautiful games I've ever played, to be honest. Both very flawed, interestingly. Both have their own very peculiar flaws, and they are both games that will massively alienate great swathes of the video game playing demographic. I mean, they're not easy, they're not kind. They're in fact really, really horrible games in many respects that are abjectly cruel to their players, and I know a lot of people who hate that. They really, really don't like it. So, but I love it. I've got to say, I found a real milieu with video games in this regard. I'm not very good at them. You know, I certainly don't do what a lot of the streamers can do, and a lot of the better players online at all. That's just not for me, you know. Ah, well, these things are called Loran Beasts, I believe, which is interesting. Oh, he nearly killed me there. Oh, he nearly had me then. Oh, he's in his second phase now, so he's got down on the floor. They're not too bad, actually, these things. You find them a lot in the Nightmare Frontier. They're creatures that tend to occur either in the Chalice dungeons or in the Nightmare areas of the game, for some reason. Loran Beasts, they're called. I love these, like, ancient treasure chambers where you find all of the items to conduct your rituals. It's very cool. There's a real sort of, like, Diablo 2 dungeon delving quality to it. I love it. Look at this, the altar and everything. I mean, what does that mean? I think the implication is that these are all Thumerian temples. I think, anyway. The Beast Claw! Oh, excellent! Oh, that's really cool. There's a certain rune, and if we get it and equip the Beast Claw, it will give us an entirely different moveset. We will actually start moving like a beast monster. as opposed to like a hunter. It's a very different way of playing the game, and it's very cool. If they ever do a Bloodborne 2 or a remake of Bloodborne for the PS5, I'd love to see more of that, because there are only 2 transformations in the game. There's that one, the Beast transformation, and there's the Kin transformation, which turns you into one of the more alien creatures. Both are very interesting, both are very cool, but I'd love to see more of that. Particularly the Beast stuff. I mean, one of the things they could do is make it so the more sort of like beast blood you imbibe, the more beast-like you get, and the more kin blood you imbibe, the more kin-like you get. That would be an amazing mechanism to enhance the experience of this game. Right then, what were we doing? Where are we? Oh yeah, going to the next layer of the dungeon. As I say, a lot of people don't like the Chalice dungeons, and I can sort of see why. They are a bit samey. They're a randomized tile set with lots of different elements that make them very subtly distinct. So some of them have different lighting effects or environmental effects. Some of them have like different weather patterns happening in them and that kind of thing. But they're pretty much the same, you know? But even so, I mean, given that the core game is so good, they're just little bonuses, to be honest. And even then, they are tied to the main game. They're worth doing, because there is story in there. You get to learn about, like, what the hunters were doing down there, and how they found the old blood and all that kind of thing. There's even a monster down there that seems to be the creature from which the old blood originally came. There's the Beast Claw. I might upgrade that, actually. I've never used it before myself. That's one of the rare items I've never actually sat down and bothered trying to practice with, so might have a go at that. I'm definitely going to try on this playthrough to get the rune that turns us into the kin. I know how to do it. I know how to do that particular puzzle. It's actually really hard. You have to do it in the Old Hunters DLC, and it's after Ludwig, and Ludwig is a pain in the arse, so we'll have to wait and see, won't we? Any sign of Gehrman out here? Sometimes you find him lying in the grass out here, moaning. Nope. There's the stump. The messengers appear here, and I can give him all these things to wear. I'm going to give him the hat. So now, hey, look! When they appear in the world, they'll all be wearing that hat. It's silly, and it's cute, and it's funny. I mean, that's another thing. You don't really ever find out what the messengers are. I think the implication is that they are either the servants or the children of the Moon Presence, which is the entity you face at the end of the game that holds the Hunter's Dream in place. The Hunter's Dream was created by an unholy pact between Gehrman and an old one, a great one, called the Moon Presence. And the Moon Presence is really strange. The implication of the Moon Presence is that it seems to have a similar contempt for other great ones as the Hunters do, which is why it established the Hunter's Dream in the first place, as a means of murdering its enemies. Very, very peculiar. You see that at the end when, if you, as you've seen in the previous playthroughs, if you... What the hell happened there? Oh, it's that thing. Oh, right. Okay, this is going to be fun. Oh, yeah, the fire does great work against these things. Those are gross, aren't they? They're very D&D, they are. They're like the molds and slimes from D&D. Yeah, not nice. Not nice at all. But yeah, you see it at the end of the game when if you've imbibed the 3/3 of the umbilical cord, which are very rare secret items in the game, when the Moon Presence embraces you, it recoils. It's like disgusted by you. It can't form a pact with you in the same way it did Gehrman, and so it attacks you. Because you are yourself nearly a great one, you're nearly there, so it can't abide you. It's really cool, it's a great idea. There's this whole implied politics between the great ones, which is amazing. And every great one is a species unto itself. The only way they can reproduce, that they can recreate themselves, is by finding a surrogate in humanity. That's what, or in other species like the Thumerians. That's what happened to Yharnam. And it certainly happens at the end of the game with some of the human characters as well. If you look at the corpses that are strung up, they're in the same shape as the rune that you find, that kind of Y rune that you find throughout the game. Very subtle little bits of symbolism all the way through. It's brilliant. Again, I would direct you, if you're interested in the lore of Bloodborne, I would direct you to VatiVidya, who has done numerous videos going over these games with the finest of fine-tooth combs and extrapolating wildly on the symbolism, trying to create a kind of unified mythology. It's really interesting. He's even looked into how the Bloodborne games link to Dark Souls, and although it's not overt and it's a bit sort of whoa! What the fuck? I've never seen that in the Chalice dungeons before. Okay, I haven't seen that in the Chalice dungeons before. How weird. It's a bit fan-wanky, and it's kind of, oh shit, it's a werewolf. It can be done. There are subtle links, particularly between this game and Dark Souls 3, both of which were being developed at the same time. There are crossovers, and they're rather interesting. I mean, beyond just the stuff that FromSoft put in all their games, so Patches, for example, Patches the spider in this game. Patches is also in the Dark Souls games, is in all of them. The Holy Moonlight Sword. The Holy Moonlight Sword is a consistent symbol that's in all of the games. But in Dark Souls 3, it's much more overt. So in Dark Souls 3, you have this notion of the deep. There is this transcendent metaphysics that some of the characters are trying to aspire to, called the deep. And by reaching it, you transform, you become something. Oh fuck, not this. Oh, I hate this. We've got to kill the bell-ringing woman. And the deep is very, very resonant with the ocean that you find in the depths of the Hunter's Nightmare in this game, which is the sea of metaphysics from which all of the Great Ones derive. It's where they come from. So it's entirely possible that this sea, this ocean of the gods that links all dreams and all states of being together, is the same thing as the deep, which is worshipped in Dark Souls, and to which the creature Aldrich is almost aspiring to. That's kind of brilliant. I think that's wonderful. Oh shit, this is going to be hard. There's a shaman down there. That guy there that can shoot fireballs at us at a fairly incredible rate, so this is going to be difficult. We're going to have to take down his hangers-on first. These guys have got to die first, then we'll have to take him down. Because he's recessed over there in the corner. If we try to kill him, they'll come up behind us and massacre us, so these guys have got to go first. This is tricky. This is tricky. Got to use the pillars for cover if possible. Look at the way they move. These are Thumerians as well. Or, like, corpses of Thumerians, anyway. They really have become degenerate over the ages, the Thumerians. I mean, it makes you wonder whether the hunters inflicted this on them when they turned up down here. When the Scholars of Bergenworth originally came down here. Oh, there they are. That's one of your best pictures of a normal Thumerian, that thing there. What we do know is that somewhere in the past there was this transcendent moment where the Thumerians entered into some bizarre metaphysical bargain with the Great Ones, and most of the Great Ones ascended to the Great Sea of Being, the next level of dreaming, the Deep, I suppose. And one of them was left behind here in the ancient remains of the Thumerian society, along with some of the Thumerians who were either left behind or opted to stay behind. It's such a great mythology. It reminds me a lot in many respects of the mythologies you find in things like Warhammer 40k and in Age of Sigmar and that kind of thing. It's very well developed, but at the same time very subtly communicated. There's no like great blocks of text telling you what happened and when. You've got to figure it out for yourself. And I find that you only come to realise... Behind you. Oh, fuck that. That's horrible. You only come to realise a lot of the subtleties of the mythology through multiple playthroughs. Which I love. Oh, these guys are wearing... What are they wearing? The red messenger ribbon, I think. It's very cool. Very cool. It's one of the best mythologies in video gaming, quite frankly. It's really beautiful. Alongside the likes of Dark Souls, of course. I suppose I'll do Dark Souls 3 again as well and start that from the beginning because I really should. I really should and do it properly, you know? But for some reason, I find Dark Souls harder than Bloodborne. I don't know if it's because I started with Bloodborne and I got used to that very aggressive style of play, but I do find Dark Souls a lot harder. Pardon me, bloody hell, I don't know what that was, than Bloodborne. The more aggressive style suits the way I play, I find. I find that very slow, tactical way of playing that you have to do in Dark Souls really difficult. I keep trying to play it like Bloodborne, and of course the minute you do that, you fail. I'm very interested, actually. I really want to get a hold of a PS5 so I can play Demon Souls for you guys, and for myself, because I've never played it before. But the likelihood of that is slim to nil at the moment, simply because I can't bloody get a hold of one. Nobody can, because of scalpers in the UK. There are now more PS5s in the UK rotting in scalpers' basements and cellars and attics than there are in stores. It's pathetic and repulsive, quite frankly. I sincerely hope that that market, quote unquote, is regulated out of existence. I really, really do, because it's disgusting. I mean, it's absolutely disgusting. It's one of those expressions of capitalism that I find to be the most repugnant. You know, whereby everything is permissible as long as it happens under the auspices of the market. It's, grotesque. I'm really sorry, but no. The market, quote unquote, is not separate from the rest of culture and politics and everything else. They're all part of the same system, and what happens in one affects the other, so no. Markets, they're not self-regulating, regardless of what your objectivists and right-wingers would have you believe. It's just a lie, it's a myth. And whoever says that is dishonest. They're completely dishonest. They need regulating. And furthermore, they are I mean, at this point, markets in general, market forces are so destructive, they are literally poisoning the entire planet and destroying our cultures. So yeah, I mean, I know like what's happening with the PS5 is small potatoes by comparison, but it is a microcosm. It's a microcosm of the same problem, and it needs addressing directly. We need systems that are going to address them in real and meaningful ways, rather than blithering about it or paying lip service to it. Anywho, that's my soapbox for the day. I think I don't have the energy to do anymore. But yeah, another thing I'll be doing very soon, when Isaac, The Binding of Isaac Repentance comes out, I'll be doing some Let's Plays of that to explore what's changed and whatnot, because I can't wait. I'm excited as hell for that. I love the fact that some of the most exciting games out there, the things I'm most looking forward to, are indie games. I just love that. Oh, another little annex here. Where does... It's a beast. Beast cutter out, I think. It's a beastie. Gotcha. Whoa. Oh, he was hiding in a coffin, that one. Can't have been very comfortable. Can't have been very comfortable at all. God, we're going up quite a few levels here, actually, in this Chalice dungeon. We're going to be in good stead for when we go back to the main game. Then again, that's what they're for. You don't have to do the Chalice dungeons, but they help, you know? Yeah. God, these werewolves are tougher than the ones in the main game, that's for damn sure. Oh, I'm stuck. Oh no. There we go. Okay, right. Where are we going? Oh, I hear lightning. That door is going to be shut. Oh no, there's a bell ringing woman. God damn it. That's bad. I hate the bell ringing woman. Oh shit, they're close, wherever they are. Oh no, there's there's more than one. There's definitely more than one. One does not produce this number of monsters. Oh, this is terrible. Oh my god. This is insane. How? Oh shit. That's bonkers. That is absolutely bonkers. There's 2 or 3. There's at least 2 or 3 bell-ringing women all summoning monsters at once through there. This is going to require some tactics. This is going to require some tactical play. We're going to have to think about how we get through them and which of the bell-ringing women we tackle first. That's not good. Okay, I think what I might do is try and see what the boss is first, because that's tricky. Let's see what the boss is. I think I know what it is. I think it's a blood-starved beast. Yeah, I thought it was. Now, make no mistake, I know we've killed this before, but this version of the blood-starved beast is a lot harder. It's tougher, it's more aggressive, and it takes away a lot more health. What we've got to do is exploit its vulnerabilities. It's very vulnerable to stunning and to viscerals, this thing. But it does this version also has attacks that will kill us in one hit. So we've got to be really careful here. It's a difficult one because you've got to... there's a very specific distance that you need to keep to be in like a safe zone. If you get too far, you can't visceral it, and then that causes problems. But if you get too close, it can do attacks that kill you in one go. It's probably one of the grossest monsters in the game, this one. Look at its flayed back and the way the flaps of skin hang down. It's horrible. It's very Hellraiser, very sort of Cenobitic and Clive Barker. Oh no, here we go. This is the hardest phase. This is the one where it can do attacks that kill you in one hit. Oh, slow poisoning. Oh shit. We need... Oh no, do I not have my pills? Oh, it doesn't matter, it's killed us. That's fine. I'll be a little bit more prepared for it next time. It's so aggressive, that beast. It is one of the most aggressive early bosses, that one. And that version of it is really tough. Not the only one we face in the Chalice dungeons, actually. There is another one in one of the lower Chalice dungeons that's even harder, and whose arena is a giant pool of corrosive liquid. So it's even nastier. You know, I mean, bloody hell. Right, I think I'll go and try and do the bell ringers, and then I'll go back to the blood-starved beast, because he's going to take some practice. That thing is going to take some practice. They seem to be... I mean, there are a couple of blood-starved beasts in the game. Most of them are in the Chalice dungeons, but there's the one in... the first one you fight, obviously, in Old Yarnum. There's... Oh, this is going well, isn't it, already? There's one you fight in the Hunter's Nightmare. That's a really strange one, because it's a small one. It's almost like an infant blood-starved beast, if that makes any sense. It's so weird. Oh, this is going to be tough. Oh, this is going to be... Oh, God. Oh, I hate this. Right, how do you... I mean, right, okay. We've got no choice. We've got to brute force it. We've got absolutely no choice. This is going to be really tough, I don't mind telling you. Just getting through is going to be a nightmare. I've seen a lot of giant spiders in video games. They seem to be a common element. But I'm telling you, the ones that are in Bloodborne are some of the most vile. There's a tendency for them to be more tarantula-like, which isn't so bad, but these are true spiders, and they're repulsive. The way they move is disgusting and horrible. Now, I'm ignoring that one, because I need to do this one first. This one's in a wider arena, so I've got more chance of killing her before the spiders get me. And when she's dead, some of the spiders will die. It just gives me a fighting chance, you know? But I'm telling you, I died a lot here. This is bullshit. This is one of the more bullshit elements of the Chalice dungeons, where they just randomly develop so you've got multiple bell-ringing women in one place. It's horrific. Especially when they're the spider summoning bell-ringing women. They don't always summon spiders. Sometimes they summon, like, monsters like them, for example, which is a lot easier. There we go. Okay, so we've done it. We've done the bell-ringing women portion of the whole thing. So that's nice to know. My god, I've only just noticed, but on New Game Plus, the enemies pay out in the Chalice dungeons. You get so many blood echoes. I suppose that's because the game is so much harder, so you've got to have the upper levels, you know? It's the only way to do it. There's so many items you can find in the Chalice dungeons as well. Where are we? Oh, hello, it's another Laran beast. Okay, so same tactic as before, really. They're very vulnerable to visceral attacks. These rooms here, these kinds of like circular rooms that have got lots of night skeletons in them, they're one of the elements that a lot of people bring up when they're trying to link Bloodborne to Dark Souls, because if you look around at the corpses, they are all knights. They've all got armour that doesn't appear anywhere else in Bloodborne, and weapons that don't appear anywhere else in Bloodborne. They look very much like the knights you find in Dark Souls. So there's a lot of attempt to try and tie Dark Souls to Bloodborne through that symbolism, which is kind of cool. I mean, I like that. I like the fact that there are subtle overlaps and links between the different games. Oh yes, I forgot about you. I wouldn't ever want them to make it more overt, if I'm honest. I like it as it is, where it's essentially a mystery. But even so, it's kind of fun. I mean, half the fun is the speculation, obviously. Oh, gotta be careful here. Those statues will kill us. Secret door? Nope. Didn't think so. Oh well. Blood vials, lovely. Always good. Always good to have an excess of blood vials. You'd be amazed how quickly you lose them. Right, I suppose it's time to take on the blood-starved beast, isn't it? And I won't lie to you, gang. I've practiced this boss a lot. It has killed me a lot, this blood-starved beast. It's a pain. But I won't trouble you with all of those failed efforts. We will just go and kill it. It's much easier, believe me, to just go and kill it. Okay, let's go do it. We've upgraded, we've practiced this boss a lot, so all being well, we should be able to take it down now. It's amazing how different, like, the familiar bosses are when you face them on certain levels of the Chalice dungeons. Oh, that started well, I feel. Gotcha. Yeah, got to exploit those viscerals. Oh, when he pauses like that, when there's a slightly longer than average pause between his attacks, back off. Always back off, because if you don't, he does an attack that kills you instantly. He basically leaps on you and just chomps you until you're dead. It's a pain. That's a good one. That attack when he, like, leaps across the screen at you, that's a very, very good opportunity to get a visceral in that one. This one. If you can get him, if you can catch him in a stun lock, that attack there, did you see the slightly longer than average pause? If he caught me there, he would have killed me in one go. Got to be careful now as well, because he is exuding poison, and that poison can kill us very quickly too. That attack there, that is lethal. If it catches you in that attack, you're dead. Doesn't matter how much health you've got, doesn't matter what you do, you're dead. That one, that's the one. That's the one you want to learn to dodge. And then wait for his more normal attacks. If this were the normal Blood-Starved Beast, he'd be dead by now. The normal one can't... Oh, here we go. This is his third stage. This is when he exudes poison so much that you can't even get near him. If you get near him, he starts to poison you. It's really tricky. I mean, I know we were so lucky there to have dodged that attack. We were so lucky. A lot of people, when they first play Bloodborne and when they first meet the original Blood-Starved Beast, that's one of the big moments where they give up, basically. There it is. There's that attack again. That's part. Oh, we're poisoned. We've got to be really quick here. Take the pill. Yeah, we're fine. We're okay. One more visceral, I think. Maybe two, and he'll die. But we've got to be really careful here. Because he's going to get aggressive now. Got him. Is this it? Is this it? No. It'll take one more hit. One more hit and then he'll die. So we've got to be careful. Oh, I'm playing very cautiously here. Because I know he can kill you so quickly. There we go. He's done. Excellent. That boss took me a lot, my loves. That boss took a lot of killing. I don't mind telling you. He was tough. But kind of fun as well, you know? The tough ones often are. Right, I think what we'll do is we'll go and upgrade in the Hunter's Dream, and when we come back, we will explore the rest of this Chalice dungeon and maybe see what lurks in its depths. Until then, my loves, bye-bye!